The steam from the kitchen couldn't mask the emptiness of my dining room. 6 months after inheriting my mother's restaurant, Golden Lotus, I was failing. Only 3 tables were occupied during what should have been the dinner rush, and I knew exactly who to blame: myself. Table 4 says their dumplings are too dry, Jenny, my last remaining waitress, whispered as she hurried past. And table 7 is complaining about the sauce being too bland. I nodded, trying to keep my composure. Mom's dumplings had never been too dry. Her sauces were legendary in San Francisco's Chinatown. But I wasn't on. Another stellar evening, I see. The voice made my shoulders tense. I turned to find my sister-in-law, Amanda, standing in the entrance, designer purse dangling from her manicured fingers. Behind her, my older brother David wore the same disapproving expression he'd had since Mom's funeral. "We're just opening for dinner service," I said, straightening my apron. "What brings you here?" "Oh, Lucy." Amanda's sympathy was as fake as her eyelashes. "We thought we should check on you. After all, family needs to look out for each other." The way she said family made my skin crawl. Ever since she'd married David 5 years ago, Amanda had appointed herself the keeper of the Chen family's image. My modest restaurant didn't fit her vision of success. "I'm fine," I replied. "Just busy." David snorted, looking around the nearly empty dining room. "Yes, I can see how overwhelmed you are with customers." They followed me as I moved through the restaurant, Amanda's heels clicking on the worn wooden floors Mom had loved so much. Every step felt like an invasion. "The paint is peeling," Amanda noted, running a finger along the wall. "And these decorations, they're so dated. When was the last time you updated anything?" "Mom liked it this way." "Mom's gone, Lucy." David's voice was sharp. "And she clearly made a mistake leaving you the restaurant." The words hit harder than he probably intended, or maybe he meant them to hurt. David had never understood why Mom left Golden Lotus to me instead of him. He was the successful one, Stanford Business School, executive position, house in Pacific Heights. I was just the daughter who dropped out of college to help Mom run her little restaurant. "Actually," Amanda said, her tone dripping with false concern, "that's why we're here. We want to help." She pulled a document from her designer bag, laying it on one of the empty tables. "We've had several interested buyers look at the property. The location alone is worth a fortune. This offer here," she pointed to a number that made my eyes widen, "would set you up nicely. You could go back to school, start fresh." I stared at the paper, feeling slightly sick. "You've been showing my restaurant to buyers?" "Be reasonable, Lucy." David stepped closer. "You're drowning here. The food isn't the same. The customers are leaving, and let's be honest, you never had Mom's talent. She would hate seeing her life's work decline like this. Get out." My voice was quiet but firm. "Lucy, get out." Amanda gathered her papers with an exaggerated sigh. "We're trying to help you. Think about it. The offer expires next week." After they left, I retreated to the kitchen, my sanctuary. The familiar scents of ginger and garlic should have been comforting. But tonight they just reminded me of everything I was losing. Mom had opened Golden Lotus 30 years ago, armed with nothing but her recipes and determination. She'd built it into one of Chinatown's most beloved restaurants. Celebrities had dined here. Food critics raved about her secret sauces. Even through the worst of times, Dad leaving, the recession, the pandemic, she kept the doors open. Now, 6 months after her death, I was watching it all slip away. "Lucy?" Jenny poked her head in. "Table 4 wants to speak to the owner." Probably another complaint. I wiped my hands, straightened my shoulders, and headed out. The elderly couple at table 4 looked vaguely familiar. Regular customers, maybe from Mom's time. "Are you Margaret Chen's daughter?" the woman asked as I approached. I nodded, bracing for criticism. "We've been coming here for 20 years, she said. "Your mother's dumplings got us through some hard times." She hesitated. "Dear, the food tonight. It's not the same." "I know," my voice cracked slightly. "I'm trying, but—" "Have you checked her recipe box?" The man interrupted. "The special one in the kitchen safe." I blinked. "What safe?" They exchanged glances. "Margaret never told you about the safe behind the Lucky Cat." My heart started racing. The Lucky Cat, a gaudy golden statue that had sat on Mom's kitchen shelf for as long as I could remember. She'd always said it was watching over her secrets. I thought she was joking. Back in the kitchen, I approached a shelf where the cat had sat for decades. Sure enough, behind where it rested was a slight discoloration in the paint. Heart pounding, I carefully moved the heavy statue. There it was, a small wall safe, painted to match the kitchen walls perfectly. But what was the combination? I tried Mom's birthday. Wrong. The restaurant's opening date. Wrong again. My birthday, David's birthday, even Dad's birthday. Nothing worked. Frustrated, I slumped against the wall. The kitchen felt different now, charged with possibility and mystery. What had Mom hidden away? Why hadn't she told me about it? Then I remembered something. A conversation from years ago, when I was helping prep for the dinner service. Every great chef has a secret, Mom had said, chopping ginger with practiced precision. Something that makes their food special. Know what mine is? Your recipes? I guessed. She'd smile mysteriously. No, little Lotus. The secret is love. And do you know when I first fell in love with cooking? When? December 12, 1982. The day my mother taught me to make dumplings. With trembling fingers, I turned to the safe. 12 to 1282. The lock clicked open. Inside was a small red box, the kind used for jewelry, and an envelope with my name on it. The envelope contained a letter in Mom's elegant handwriting. My dearest Lucy, if you're reading this, then you've discovered my final secret. I always knew you would when the time was right. The restaurant is struggling, isn't it? You're trying to recreate my recipes, but something's missing. The customers can taste it. Your brother is probably pushing you to sell. Don't. What's in this box is more valuable than any real estate offer. It's my legacy, not just recipes, but the heart of Golden Lotus. The secret that made people line up around the block, that won awards, that built our family's dream. But before you open it, remember this. A recipe is just instructions on paper. The magic comes from the cook's heart. You have always had my heart, Lucy. That's why I left you the restaurant. Not because you were the better chef, but because you understand that food is about more than technique. It's about love, memory, and the courage to keep trying until you get it right. Now open the box, my little Lotus, and show them what you can do. All my love, Mom. With shaking hands, I opened the red box. Inside was a small key and another note. For the box in my old office closet. Everything you need is there. Make me proud. I clutched the key to my chest, tears streaming down my face. In the dining room, I could hear more customers leaving. Tomorrow, David and Amanda would probably return with more offers, more pressure to sell. But they didn't know what I had just found. Mom's final gift wasn't just recipes. It was a chance to prove myself, to save her legacy, to show everyone that she'd been right to trust me with Golden Lotus. I looked at my reflection in the stainless steel of the kitchen counter. For the first time in months, I saw not just grief and uncertainty, but determination. Jenny, I called out. After closing, I need your help with something. Tomorrow would change everything. The question was I ready for what Mom had left me to discover? Part 2, The Heart of Golden Lotus. Mom's office hadn't been touched since the day she died. Walking in after closing time, with only Jenny beside me, felt like stepping into a time capsule. The air still held traces of Mom's jasmine perfume, mixed with the scents of spices that had permeated the walls over decades. Are you sure you want me here? Jenny asked softly. This seems private. I squeezed her hand. You've stuck with me through everything. Your family now. The closet was small, tucked behind Mom's desk. Inside, beneath a stack of old menus and aprons, sat a wooden box with a small keyhole. The key from the safe fit perfectly. Oh my God, Jenny breathed as I opened the lid. Inside was a collection of worn notebooks, their pages yellow with age and spotted with soft stains. Each one was filled with Mom's handwriting, not just recipes, but stories, secrets, techniques passed down through generations. But there was something else. Photographs, newspaper clippings, and letters documenting Golden Lotus's history. And at the bottom, a leather-bound journal with the true secret written on its cover. With trembling hands, I opened it. My dearest Lucy, if you're reading this, you found not just recipes, but the heart of Golden Lotus. Every great restaurant has a soul, something that makes it more than just food and walls. Our soul is in these pages, in the stories of every person who helped make this place special. Remember Mrs. John, who taught me the secret to perfect dumpling folds. Her grandson now runs the vegetable stand down the street. He still saves the best bok choy for us. Remember old Mr. Wu who loaned me money to fix the roof when the bank refused? His special spice blend is on page 47. I promise to keep it in the family. Every recipe here comes with a story, a connection, a piece of love woven into the ingredients. That's what your brother never understood. He sees numbers and property values. You see people and memories. Now it's your turn to add to these pages, to make these recipes your own, to build on our legacy. With all my love, Mom. P.S. Check page 93. That's where the real magic begins. I turned to page 93 and gasped. There, in detailed notes, was the secret to Mom's famous XO sauce, the condiment that had put Golden Lotus on the culinary map. But it wasn't just a recipe. It was a story of how she developed it, testing ingredients for months, combining traditional techniques with bold innovations. Jenny, I said, my voice thick with emotion, we're going to need ingredients. Lots of them. We worked through the night, Jenny helping me prep while I studied Mom's notes. Each recipe was a revelation, not just ingredients and methods, but the why behind every choice. The exact heat needed to bring out the scallop sweetness in the XO sauce. The precise folding technique that kept dumplings from drying out. By dawn, the kitchen smelled like my childhood memories. The first batch of dumplings looked exactly like Mom's. The sauce was perfect. Try this, I said, offering Jenny a spoon. Her eyes widened. Lucy, it's just like your mom used to make. I smiled through tears. No, it's better. The next few days were a blur of cooking, testing, and rediscovering. I closed the restaurant for renovations, but really I was relearning everything. Each recipe in Mom's notebooks taught me something new, not just about cooking, but about Golden Lotus itself. The regular customers had their own pages. Mr. Chen from the bank loved his dumplings with extra chili oil. The Liu family always ordered their noodles slightly softer for their grandmother. Every dish had a story, a connection to our community. Then came the day we reopened. I'd sent invitations to all our old regulars, including the elderly couple who told me about the safe. David and Amanda received one too, not out of spite, but because Mom would have wanted it. The dining room was full for the first time in months. I kept the worn wooden floors, the faded decorations, but added small touches. Fresh flowers, new tablecloths, subtle changes that respected tradition while embracing the future. The first dishes went out, then the second. The dining room grew quiet except for the sounds of eating and soft exclamations of pleasure. Just like Margaret used to make. No, even better. The sauce, it's perfect. David and Amanda arrived late, dressed like they were attending a funeral rather than a dinner. They sat at Mom's old favorite table, ordering with barely concealed disdain. I served them myself, Mom's special dumplings, noodles in XO sauce, and her secret braised pork. What is this? Amanda demanded after one bite, her carefully maintained composure cracking. This isn't. How did you? David was silent, staring at his plate. I saw him blink rapidly and realized he was fighting tears. It tastes like Mom's, he whispered. No, I said gently. It tastes like love. That was always her secret ingredient. I placed Mom's journal on their table, open to a specific page. There, among the recipes and notes, was a letter addressed to David. My precious son, if you're reading this, then Lucy has found my notebooks and understood their true meaning. You may think I chose her over you, but that's not true. I chose the right person to carry on, not just the restaurant, but its heart. You have your own gifts, my boy. Your drive, your intelligence, they've taken you far. But Lucy has something special. She understands that Golden Lotus isn't just a business. It's a family, a community, a legacy of love. Support her, David. She'll need your business sense sometimes, just as you might need her reminder that success isn't always measured in dollars. You are both my children, and I love you both. Different gifts, different paths, but the same heart. Love, Mom. I left them reading, returning to the kitchen where tickets were piling up. Through the service window, I watched David wipe his eyes, then slowly taste each dish again, this time with real attention. After closing, he found me in the kitchen. Lucy, he stopped, looking around at the space where we'd grown up watching Mom cook. I'm sorry, I thought I knew better. I know, I touched his arm gently. Want to learn how to make the dumplings? Mom left instructions for both of us. He managed a small smile. Maybe next time, but I do have some ideas about expanding the business. If you're interested. Expanding? Golden Lotus sauces. Packaged for retail. Your recipes, my business connections. Mom would have loved it. I thought about the notebooks, full of family secrets and community connections. Let me think about it. Whatever we do, we have to do it right. For Mom. In the months that followed, Golden Lotus flourished. Not just survived, but truly thrived. The dining room was full every night, now with a mix of old regulars and new faces. We started a cooking class on Sundays, sharing some of Mom's simpler recipes with the community. David and I eventually did launch the sauce business, but we did it carefully, maintaining the quality Mom would have demanded. Amanda learned to make dumplings, though she complained about the flour under her manicured nails. The lucky cat still sits on its shelf in the kitchen, guarding its secrets. The safe behind it is empty now, its treasure distributed through the notebooks I use every day, adding my own notes alongside Mom's. Last week, a food critic from the Chronicle came in. His review made me cry. Golden Lotus has managed the impossible, honoring a beloved legacy while creating something new and vibrant. The classic dishes taste exactly as I remember from Margaret Chen's day, yet somehow even better. Her daughter Lucy has discovered what every great chef knows, that the secret ingredient in memorable food isn't in any recipe, it's in the heart of the person cooking it. Mom would have loved that review. Not for the praise, but for the understanding. Every night before service, I touch the lucky cat for good fortune, just like Mom used to do. Sometimes, in the quiet moments before the dinner rush, I swear I can feel her presence in the steam rising from the woks, in the rhythm of chopping vegetables, in the laughter of guests enjoying their meals. The recipes she left weren't just about food. They were about legacy, family, and the courage to believe in yourself. Every dish we serve carries a piece of that legacy, a blend of tradition and innovation, of memory and possibility. David stops by most Sundays now, sometimes rolling up his sleeves to help in the kitchen. He's not very good at dumpling folding yet, but he's learning. More importantly, he's understanding what Mom knew all along, that true success isn't measured in profit margins, but in the smiles of satisfied customers and the warmth of family working together. As for me, I've started my own notebook, adding new recipes alongside Mom's classics. Someday, I'll pass these books on to the next generation, along with the most important lesson Mom taught us, that the greatest achievements come not from proving others wrong, but from proving yourself right. The lucky cat watches over it all, guarding not just recipes now, but the true heart of Golden Lotus, a legacy of love, served one dish at a time.